going on, everyone? This is Fighting Words with Kev and Shelz. I'm Shelz.
Kev, A Count Sports.
Yes, sir. So, Kev, what we got today? What we got for the people today,
We
Kev?
got the year-ending show, the second annual year-ending show. Last
Second.
year was wild. We was all over the place.
This
Changed the
year's just
pound for
as well.
pound list a zillion times, but it was a fun show. This year, though, it's even going to be even more crazy. I mean, this is the year
Yes,
of the upset. If there's going to be a title for this episode, is the
for
year
real.
of the upset. You had a favorite, he or she went down. It's a good chance.
We gonna get into. We gonna get into. We gonna get into
You know,
today.
listen. End of the year show, fighter of the year, knockout of the year,
hmm
upset of the year. You know how we do. And of course, the pound for pound rankings. And then we take it in the next year, see what the favorable matches, what you think will happen next year, the matches we want to see next year, and what will actually happen. You know what I mean? Take it first. Well, you got to start first. Fighter of the year, man. Who was the fighter? Your fighter of the year.
Fight the year. You wanna start with me?
2022. It's on you. Fighter of the year.
2022.
Yeah.
I give it to the new welterweight champ, Leon
Ah,
Rocky Edwards.
Leon
Like
Rodriguez.
the whole his story goes deeper than 1 year,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
it's a
Yeah.
whole everything accumulated up until this point.
Yeah.
This man was
In a shed.
so much bad luck for him. Like first he caught that two piece in the biscuit L from Masvidal. Then Masvidal went on
Yeah.
to become like the one of the biggest stars in the UFC. Let's be
Yeah.
real.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, he was supposed to fight Hamzat twice,
Right.
and both times it was stopped because of COVID. The first time it was stopped because Leon had COVID, and the second time Hamzat was healing from a COVID infection that he had.
And they bullied him into that fight. Don't forget that part.
They
He
cut
was
him from the
ranked like number
rankings,
4. He was ranked number 4.
but he was willing. He was willing to fight, but they cut him from the rankings. He
Oh,
wasn't.
so he was. Well, I thought that he really wasn't trying to really fight. Hamzat wasn't ranked. I think he wasn't particularly.
From what I remember, he wasn't he was a hyper body, but he was willing to do it because at this point he was so frustrated about not getting no fights.
Yeah. After a while.
He was cut from the rankings for inactivity.
Inactivity. Yeah.
He was supposed to fight Masvidal, but then Masvidal pulled out for undisclosed reason.
He was supposed to fight Woodley. He was supposed to fight Masvidal. He was supposed to fight. He ended up fighting Muhammad, and we even know who he was. Bilal Muhammad.
He did fight Bilal Muhammad.
No contest.
And
There was the eye poke, no contest.
then his next fight was against Nate Diaz, where he was dominating, and then in like the last I believe minute or so of the fight, he caught that nice
That was Stockton slap.
it just was bad. And then for him to end it off walking away with the belt that he's been talking about, he's been wanting for that whole 9 winning streak
Yeah.
run he was on.
Yeah.
Where's my chance? It felt like he was being left behind by everybody else. It felt like he was just stuck in a rut. And for him to come out on top like that, I gotta give him fight of the year.
Right, wow. I can't argue with that. I wouldn't argue with that. That was a great selection. He had the story of the year, if
Yeah, the
nothing
story,
else.
man.
At the minimum. He definitely had
Minimum.
the story of the year. And he deserving. He went into that fight and people felt
David
like
and Goliath.
he shouldn't have even been in the fight. Like people wasn't checking for that fight.
People counting him out.
Counted him out. His coach, he counted like it seemed like he counted himself out. His body language in that fight
During the fight itself, right?
Yeah, during the fight, it came off that way. For me, I gotta go with Alex, man. 3-0 in the year. He beat a top 5 guy, Sean Strickland, who was 6-0 on the 6-fight winning streak going in on his way up. Knocked him out first round, 3 knockouts this year. 3 knockouts this year, and then stepped it up even further, beating somebody who I had number two pound for pound at the time. At least if you didn't have that, he was the middleweight kingpin undisputedly. Like making it about the division.
Correct. Correct.
Scored a knockout on him as well. I gotta go with Alex, man. That in his 4th fight in the UFC, 3 in a year, 3-0 in the year. Not all knockouts. You know what I'm saying?
All
That's
knockouts.
Perceived dominance, but we'll get into that later.
And for him to still get the best of Izzy.
Yeah.
Twice outside the UFC, 1 time now in the UFC. Their first fight in the UFC. It's like it's to say it again.
Legitimate. He legitimized it.
It seems like this. It's like I'm gonna use a football analogy. Tom Brady,
yeah,
the greatest quarterback, one of the greatest of all time.
right.
He only lost 2 Super Bowls.
Yeah,
They're both to the Giants, and they're both to Eli Manning. To me, Tom Brady's like Superman. Eli Manning's like his kryptonite. No, matter of fact, he lost 3 Super Bowls. I'm sorry, but that third Super Bowl he lost. Here's the joke: the third Super Bowl he lost. There's a commercial with Eli Manning in that commercial. Every Super Bowl that Eli Manning was in, he lost.
Yeah.
That was his kryptonite. Izzy, the last stop Bennett, is like the Superman of that division. And Alex seems to be his kryptonite. He seems to have his number.
Yeah.
And even though Izzy is technically the better fighter, Alex keeps coming out on top. It's like the tortoise and the hare.
Yeah.
The hare has all equipment to run faster, but the tortoise keeps winning.
True.
So here's another great point I want to make real quick. I picked Leon for fight of the year. You pick Alex for fight of the year. The crazy part is those 2 guys are on the winning sides of major upsets for that for this year. The 2 of them
changed the whole direction of the company.
For their divisions, for their respective divisions.
And of the company. Really, like Usman, and coming into the year, I was gonna make this point later. Like, it's in the UFC in fighting. When you it's not all the time that you have a individual that's universally recognized as pound for pound the best fighter in the world. Because what will happen is it's an opinionated thing.
Gotcha.
So a lot of times you get the guy that's more spectacular. You know, it's always a back and forth. I remember one time it was Conor, and it was like John Jones, and Conor became champ, but John Jones was the guy for, like, we always, even in boxing, Shane Mosley with Roy Jones. Gotcha. Tyson had his spark with somebody might say, oh, Tyson didn't fight this person. You always kind of have, it's not always that you have that Mayweather figure or that, or that John Jones figure. So for Usman to be recognized universally as pound for pound the guy this year, like, he was that guy for Edwards. Like, universal, like on everybody's list.
They're starting to compare to GSP.
Huh?
They're starting to compare him to GSP. He was chasing that.
I think he had the record. He was almost on him. Like,
he was chasing him. Yeah, he was
catching up. Dominance. He dominated Edwards the first time, right? So to go to show, so for him to pull that off, like, it just goes, it changed the direction of the company. In a sense, as far as the stars.
Okay.
Izzy was another one, even if he still was one of the most exciting, if nothing else. If you didn't want to say,
Izzy was still seen as one of the faces of the UFC.
Absolutely.
I believe after Conor.
Popularity, everything. Skills, style, everything. Popularity, everything. Changed. Oh, this year is just changed.
It shook up. A lot of things got shook up this year. All
right, so knockout of the year.
Knockout of the year.
This is a close one. I was kind of going back and forth on this.
I got you now. There's no doubt in my mind what should be the knockout of the year, Kev. You want to know who I got?
It's only 2. It's only 2 that I'm thinking about, bro.
Only 2 you think about?
Yeah.
Well, the one I got is the knockout of Chandler, the knockout of Tony Ferguson by Michael Chandler.
Yeah. Those are the 2.
That second round knockout, 17 seconds within the second round.
Yeah.
And you know what's crazy about that fight? Ferguson was having a good first round.
He looked like Tony Ferguson.
He caught Chandler with a right hand and put him in danger. It was a good first round. It was exciting. But that second round, like I said, 17 seconds. Say it again.
He was dominating. He's controlling the distance. Chandler was getting waxed.
He was getting it in.
He was going in one direction.
But second round, 17 seconds in, like I said before, that changed everything. Like, he dropped, like, it's like someone swept it from under his feet.
Yeah.
Like, the drop was just straight vertical.
Yeah.
He had to turn, and when he turned, his eyes were still rolled back. It was just a crazy visual. So I have to give that to the Ferguson, the Chandler's knockout Ferguson for knockout of the year.
Bro, I can't. I'm not arguing with that. I was gonna pick that. It was the first knockout that came to mind.
So what was the second one? Because you said it was 2. I want to know. It was the first one
that came to mind. It was the most spectacular. It was the most eye-catching. And it was the end of it. I felt like that kind of put the stamp on Tony. If you didn't, I mean, it was gonna be his night. Like he was controlling distance. I was like that. He was outclassing Chandler.
He performed better against Chandler than he did against
Control distance,
Diaz.
everything. Yeah, he controlled distance. Yeah, but he had he used all his advantages. Chandler looked outclassed. That fight, the knockout was the most spectacular of the year. But man, I gotta go with the most significant. It gotta be Edwards. I mean, I guess Edwards is going to dominate this show. I guess Edwards is going to dominate this show. But
no, and rightfully so. It is way more significant, and way more shocking.
Not as spectacular, but just like shocking.
Way more shocking. Because after 4 rounds of being
here, it was a repeat. Bro, I felt when I woke up, I seen Usman on the floor. I couldn't believe. I was like, "What?" I fell asleep like the end of the.
I remember watching it. Yo, bro, I remember watching it and looking at it, and it didn't register to me what happened.
Yeah,
like
an out of body experience, right?
I'm watching it, and he just dropped, and I said, "Wait, that don't make no sense. What just happened? Hold on." Yeah, it was shocking. But the visual with the Tony Ferguson.
Yeah. Like it was more spectacular.
That's all I'm giving that to. I'm just giving the pure visual. I get what you're saying. The significance is crazy. But just the
significance versus the highlight reel. Yours is the highlight reel.
I'm saying what makes a knockout?
Yours was the first one. When I thought knockout of the year, it was the first one that came to mind.
Yeah.
It was the first one. I was like, when I thought about it, but then after a while, I really thought about it, and I was like,
gotcha.
But then this knockout meant a little more. Like
a lot more. It meant a lot more.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
You know what's crazy? I did think about the Edwards knocking out Usman, but I'm like the visual though, man. I just couldn't get over that visual.
Crazy.
That visual was crazy.
It was crazy.
Like I remember I saw it and I said
backflips. I'm like, yeah.
He kept saying one more.
Meanwhile, dude on the other side unconscious. Like damn, I'm like
yo,
the thrill of victory, right?
The act of defeat. Crazy. But those are the two biggest knockouts. So
yeah.
Having both of them having a shot on the show, I'm not mad at it.
Facts. All right. Fight of the year.
I gotta give it to Glover Teixeira versus Yuri Prochazka.
Right. I wasn't
UFC 275 for the light heavyweight championship. That fight.
I forgot about that one.
Kev, how could you? That was a 5-round back and forth drama.
For the belt too.
The first round, Teixeira had it, dominating with the ground game.
Yeah.
Then with 30 seconds, the thing with the story with this fight was it was so back and forth. Every one round, one guy would be dominating for most of it. Then just when you think the other guy is out, he'll come back. Every round, the first round,
he almost choked out and everything. Yeah.
Yo, the first round, Teixeira had it, dominating. 30 seconds left to the first round.
Yeah.
He reverses it. He's on top, delivering ground and pound game.
Yeah.
Second round, it was reversed. This time, Yuri had it. Because the thing with that fight was, Glover was more dominant on the ground, and Prochazka was more dominant on the feet.
Standing up.
In the second round, Prochazka is dominating on the feet, striking him down. He drops Glover. With about 90 seconds left, he's on top. He drops Glover. He's on top of the ground and pound. 90 seconds left. Glover turns him over. He's on top now. Ground and pound, slicing elbows. Gives Prochazka a gashing cut over his left eye.
Yeah.
So now he's bleeding.
Yep. Busted up.
Second, before the third round about to start, they smile at each other. I always like that when fighters smile at each other. They're about to try to kill each other.
It's about to go down. It's about to go down.
I know they're crazy. Third round, Prochazka is still on the ground. He's still on his feet, lacing Glover up. Glover catches him with a left hook. That was another thing with that fight. Prohaska had a lot of trouble with Glover's left hook.
Yeah.
He drops with that left hook. Yeah, drops with the left hook.
Yeah.
He's on top of him now.
Mm-hmm.
With about a minute left, flips it this time, flips it over, and now he's on top. Round ends. No, it was a round ends with him on top now.
Yeah.
Fourth round, bro. Yo, Glover's 42 years old.
Yo, what is he on?
He was 42 years old. And he's going. This is the fourth round. 3 rounds of punishment, bro. Prohaska was just on top of him with that 3rd round.
Yeah.
4th round, they're going toe to toe now. Striking. Glover catches him with that same left hook. He's on the ground with him. Then he goes for the arm triangle.
Yeah. Yeah.
He goes for the arm triangle. Again, like you think it's over for Yeri. 90 seconds left. He finds a way to get out of that position. There's a back and forth grappling. Yeri's on top again. Mm-hmm. The 5th round was the most exciting because this time Glover was the one dominating on his feet.
Yeah, right.
This is the first he was one down on his feet.
Yeah, he went for the takedown or something? What happened?
He went for the takedown.
Yeah.
He went for the takedown in both in the 4th round he went for that takedown as well before he went for the arm triangle. But in the 5th round he did go for that takedown. He got it. But here's the crazy part.
Yeah.
Prohaska kicks off the fence to reverse it.
Is that legal?
No, it was like he kicked off. He did. He kicked off the fence.
Okay.
Rear naked chokehold. 4 minutes 32 seconds in the 5th round. We got a new lightweight heavyweight. We got a new light heavyweight champ. Yo, that fight was beautiful. Yeah. Fight of the year. Had to be.
I think you're probably right. It's not what I picked. I think you're right because of significance. It was a title fight and the dramatics.
The dramatics was crazy.
Of the fight. The fight that stood out to me, I think you're right, but the fight, I'm just going to say what I picked. I really liked Hamzat and Burns. It was only 3 rounds, but it was furious. And I think
a good one.
It was important from the perspective of a new star was officially born. I think that's the fight. You fighting a guy like Gilbert Burns, who's number 2 for like the longest. Like he's the guy. You know how I say that there's levels, the gatekeeper.
Yeah,
Burns is like that next guy under Usman. Like you can talk about Covington and all of that, but Covington isn't really rushing to fight Burns either. Like he's like that next guy. With Usman not there, it's gonna be interesting to see how that go. Because Usman, they saying got a hand issue.
Yeah,
we will get into that later. But I like the Burns Hamzat fight. A star might be born on that. Star might be officially born on that one.
Yeah, that was the first test. That's a real legit test of Hamzat. Because before that, it was like, well, he was just fighting unranked fighters. Yeah. So he could still be just a hype chain. Yeah. And he was tested this time. He was pushed. Yeah.
And I think it was actually a good fight. Even though he didn't win, I felt like that was a good comeback fight for Burns too. Because his fights were getting kind of lackluster. Like he was kind of becoming a guy that he's just there. You know what I'm saying? Like I kind of felt like, yeah, we know he could fight, but he's not. You don't necessarily have to fight him. You know what I'm saying? Like his style is so. That was his coming out party to be more interesting because it's entertainment. We love the essence of the sport and everything like that. Basketball, football, we could all say that, but there's an entertainment factor as well.
Like the aesthetics got to be there.
That's the other way you get into the main event picture as well. And he might have just got himself back into another one. You know what I'm saying?
The stats had to be there. You're right. What about upset of the year now, man?
Oh, come on. Do we even have to do upset of the year?
I mean, what do you?
It's got to be that Leon Edwards show. No. You know what? Go ahead. Who's upset of the year?
Yeah, no, you're right. That was my pick. It got me the Leon Edwards. Come on. Like you for all the same reason why he inspired the year, you gotta say why is this the upset of the year. Yeah. It was a David and Goliath moment.
Yeah. We already laid down the seed for why it was, bro.
Yeah, like he was Usman going there with a 15-fight winning streak.
Mm-hmm.
And the last time,
and the fight resembled that.
And the fight resembled, The fight resembled that. Yeah, but so there's nothing more to talk about with that one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Upset of the year.